what does it mean for us viewers when watching it. Then there is aspects to it. There is criminal contempt and there is civil contempt. That punishment is in the event of contempt. And what this means is the legal framework is now reverting back to the Judicature Act, Section 5, and articles of the Constitution, Article 10, 50, and 159, where you can see judicial authority is actually something to be respected. Just the other day, after an open heart surgery, when the insurance failed to remit some of this money, he was detained in hospital until that money becomes fully paid. And you know, if you're detained in hospital, one thing, the bill will not be the same as they charged you initially.
Basically, my takeaway is a person holding that patient is not even security. Like, it is not a surety that your debt will be paid. I woke up to 60,000, I woke up to 20,000. Hata juzi kuna mtu nilisikia hapa katikati yetu akituambia 20,000 ilimlipa Gemini.
In the spirit of trying to look what the government is doing, we're looking at a very critical decision. Now, a few weeks ago, there was an eruption of Ebola, which is a very dangerous virus in DRC Congo. And subsequently, obviously, countries went into panic mode, including the world superpower, that is the USA. And in a way to mitigate all that, they went ahead and tried to find a way to protect the citizens who are in Congo, who might have been affected by the Ebola virus.
It was first signed in 2015 by President Barack Obama. It was an agreement. It was called a threat of biological threat reduction agreement. So basically, both governments were trying to see how they can handle the pathogens or biological threats, basically diseases. Let me just say that. And as I was going through the document, you know, people are they rush to the internet to say you never conducted the public participation, you never. When I actually went there, they did.
This is Law in the Neighborhood podcast. Brought to you by CH Studios, creating content that connects.
Yet another amazing opportunity we collide here. My name is COLINS, Colines Mieku, but you can always opt for CM. This is Law in the Neighborhood, your go-to legal talk show where we get to dissect legal intricacies for our neighbors. And as usual, I'm always joined with a brief team of future legal equals in the room. The whole gang is around today. But before that, as usual, I'll have to say thank you to our production studios, CH Studios, for always giving us this amazing space for production. If you have anything matters production, CH Studios is the place to go. CH Studios, we create content that connects. Yeah, let's get into it. How are we doing, guys? We keep it quiet. How we be? Jerry looks at and what's happening?
The main activity for this week has been surviving.
In what terms?
And we have survived.
Interesting. Niha?
For first-time viewers, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Niha Chege. Nimesikia hiyo joke ya ni hao a million times. Anyway, this week has been very heavy, especially for me. I don't think it's proper for us to continue without remembering the heroes we lost in 2024. Like, I can only imagine you left your house with nothing but hope to go out and fight for your country as a young person. And these people who are young, our total, they're all our age mates. So I think it was a very heavy week where you just sit down and you're like, I'm going to work and these people will never get to work. Yeah, a day in their life and everything. So I think it was a very heavy week, but regardless, we survived and we are here. Dear uncle. Yeah.
So before we go into the episode, Leo's boy was listening to Kiss and Sigam boy was cracking me. So there's this lady online. She was saying how
We are laughing because you are laughing.
babake alikuwa rafiki ya mganga. Alikuwa rafiki ya mganga. So the thing is, every time
Composure.
Hadi nashangaa kama mimi sina humor.
Pia mimi.
I had to compose myself. So every time walikuwa na crave kuku. Crave kuku. As a family, Sigobodi rafiki ya mganga. And then you've seen the way waganga ukienda kwa hip, akwambia ngeje kuku and stuff. So for them, hawakuwa ikosa. Every time wakitaka kuku, baba wanapigia mganga. The mganga
Anawapea kuku.
You should watch out that girl. Anyway, it's okay. I think that cracked me up so much. You should find that clip and mjisikie tu, like it was so funny to learn that ile kuku napelekeanga mganga. Anyway, it's okay. Back to the episode. Because I copy this enjoyed my story.
Yes, we did.
When you lie,
Because sijui explain it is.
nakwambia nimejaribu hadi kuchekelea, the cameras are rolling, but it's not coming.
Okay, just find it and then engage with it. But it's okay.
I think you should just stick to law.
I was trying to crack you guys, man. Appreciate. But at the end of the day, you still laughed.
Yes.
Right, it's okay. Anyway, let's get into the episode. In the courtroom this week, in the spirit of trying to look what the government is doing, we're looking at a very critical decision. Now, a few weeks ago, there was an eruption of Ebola, which is a very dangerous virus in DRC Congo. And subsequently, obviously, countries went into panic mode, including the world superpower, that is the USA. And in a way to mitigate all that, they went ahead and tried to find a way to protect the citizens who are in Congo who might have been affected by the Ebola virus. And by doing that, they wanted to set up a facility in Kenya at Laikipia Air Base. And this facility essentially, it was to accommodate those patients who had contracted the Ebola virus in DRC. So that to be ferried from DRC to Kenya for quarantine, but also to be medically observed. But through the media outlets, the information got to the people, and Katiba Institute dashed court to have the whole process halted. Subsequently, the court actually ordered that the bilateral construction of that facility should be halted and stopped.
It was pending the hearing and determination of the petition.
Yes. But what did the government do to the CS of health at the Duale? They kept on constructing the facility, despite the court giving orders that that facility should not be started. The CS also did not attend the court sessions, and this actually led to the court getting CS in contempt of court orders. And as such, by quoting what the judge said that court orders, it is not an invitation to ingenuity. It is a command to be obeyed. And why is it that the court was saying this? The court was saying this because the CS came to court and you say it is okay. You see, when you said that we should halt the bilateral construction of the Ebola facilities, we did halt the bilateral. But we went ahead as a government of Kenya to go on and construct. So the court is like, bro, we never asked you to go ahead and interpret the court's words to be saying, Ati, we cannot do this with the United States, but the government of Kenya can do it alone. No, the court said that process should be halted, and that's it. So the actually court was so mad, and it said, what? You are in contempt of the court orders. But I think recently, the court had pardoned the CS for health, that is Aden Duale. But I think what I make of the decision, they're seeing a regime that is constantly acting arbitrary to court orders. We're seeing a regime that is not respecting the Montesquieu principle of separation of powers, where judiciary is an equal arm of government as executive, and if orders are issued, they ought to be respected. So I don't know what you guys made of that decision, but I think to me it was just seeing someone try to evade court orders and trying to manipulate it to fit the purpose, and it didn't go well with them. But happy to hear what you guys make of that. Jerry, what do you think?
That was, first of all, an interesting wrestling match between two arms of the government.
Yes.
And each ending with a pardon. I don't know if we can term it a draw or who can be declared to have a win, but not trying to insinuate things. That is a story for another day. Contempt of courts. What does it mean for us viewers when watching it? Then there is aspects to it. There is criminal contempt and there is civil contempt.
Exactly.
So criminal contempt is where you're trying to disparage the authority of the court. Maybe you abuse a judge during the proceedings. So you're just carrying out yourself in an uncourtly manner. Kuchukue simu uanze kuongea huko. Sijataja mtu wake. No, that is not being tribal.
Even don't know.
But yes, then there's civil where you're not obeying commands issued by the court. Yes, the court found the CS guilty of contempt, and it's carried out its discretion to either pardon or issue out the consequences. And so this is a conversation that circles back to the unconstitutionalized day. Today is not just the day. We go back to the court declaring the Contempt of Court Act 2016 as unconstitutional, because it takes away the authority of the judiciary to hand out punishment in the event of contempt. And what this means is the legal framework is now reverting back to the Judicature Act, Section 5, and articles of the Constitution, Article 1050 and 159, where you can see judicial authority is actually something to be respected.
Exactly.
As a law student, and maybe we can just pass it to the common wananchi, discretion of the courts is usually not questioned before any other body. So if the court had the discretion to pardon the CS, it's a matter of discretion.
Yeah.
Surely.
That is the investigatories.
Yes. So we can't really say, no, he deserves to be punished. We don't know how the court viewed it. Maybe some theoreticians can know how the court viewed it. But this is just one of the cases where a court is actually carrying out its authority and its discretion to decide matters. And in any contempt of court proceedings, it's always the discretion of the court to decide how to handle these people who are deemed violators, or rather people acting in contempt of court. So that's my 2 cents about the entire thing. It's just a matter of discretion of the court, and we can leave it at that for now.
Nice. Yeah, how you view this from perspective?
I think first of all, it's important to tell people where this whole quarantine facility thing originated from, because I've seen there's a myth around it that the agreement was concluded recently. But as I was digging, I found that actually this thing has been there for a couple of years. Actually, more than a decade. I think. Yeah. No, it will be reaching 10 years this year, because this deal was first signed in 2015 by President Barack Obama. It was an agreement. It was called a threat of biological threat reduction agreement. So basically, both governments were trying to see how they can handle the pathogens or biological threats, basically diseases. Let me just say that. And as I was going through the document, people are they rush to the internet to say you never contacted the public participation, you never. When I actually went there, they did. And it's not about the numbers. We already concluded that it's about qualitative versus quantitative. They actually did it. They even published it on the Standard. You can see the not the screenshots.
The Standard is also talking.
Yes, the Standard this week. Anyway, continue injecting. So they had attached a copy of the issue they had given. They had called for public participation, and in the report it actually says no one from the public sent in any opinion. They even had to go to other dockets, the parliaments, the hospitals, to seek public participation from them. They went an extra mile.
Oh my God.
But now the catch is,
I blame millennials for this.
your time tulikuwa 2015. I was like
Auto.
Primary.
Millennials mnatuangusha.
Either way, so that deal, it was valid for only 5 years. That means up to 2020. And it was recently renewed in 2022. So now this one that is now in action, it's kind of a modification of the first agreement, but now it has different objectives. So now the current one that is in position will be there for 7 years up to 2029. And this is why you should be doing your digging to see
and this is why you should be watching the neighborhood.
What is happening.
Because enlightened.
And now I just had a question, like, when these people, because I read the reports, these people had very many MPs, but they only had one analyst. I assume the analyst was to determine maybe the risk that comes with signing this agreement. So I don't understand why we have that number of members of parliament and then one specialist. You know, if you had a huge number of specialists, these people could have sat down and seen the risk that come with this particular biological threats, especially after experiencing COVID.
COVID, yeah.
Because COVID had
It was different.
COVID,
man.
like, it shut everything down. Some of us are even recovering from the effects of COVID, nanny, like
6 years back.
yeah. So I feel like our leaders somewhat they failed us maybe in that particular, you know, like not assessing the risks. That this is just something I'm saying from the reports, because how can you have all those people who form a committee with one particular analyst? I feel like a diverse amount of analysts could have helped maybe in, you know, like in enriching and also educating these people about what the probability of biological threats would be, what effects they will have. So I think it's very important to actually know where all this comes from. It does not come from a recently signed agreement. It is something that has been there. So now it's also up to us to kila kitu ukiona, when you see something being announced, you just don't
assume.
You just don't assume, because
Get the background.
we see now it has come to bite us. Oh. Yeah, so I think
Am I missing a joke?
the last part of that saying, I've just thought about it, and I think it's not very professional. So basically, yeah, and also I think Jerry has highlighted the separation of powers.
Yeah.
It comes to play because, you know, someone jokes that judiciary mnatoanga hizo orders, mnakatiwa budget. You just have to take that. You just have to take that apology and otherwise mtakosa chaia. I'm saying someone say this is reported. So
indirect.
Yeah, either way, I think another issue is the lack of a specific law, the detailed, after the contempt of court act was struck out. I think maybe it might be now time for the legislators to go back to the drawing board and, you know,
Try to rethink.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that is enough for us to know that we need to be up to date with what's happening in terms of our diplomatic relationship with other countries. Unazonia fanika foreign affairs offensive. Yeah. Anyway, that is it for in the courtroom. It was a short but a very educative one. Now I'll take you to jail. Atuambie. Unaya pia kusema.
You've taken it to me.
Yes.
I've accepted it. So today in the legal bulletin is actually an issue that needs to be addressed. Now, did you know that a medical hospital cannot detain you over unpaid medical bills? This is something that many citizens have been facing, not only for medicine, but also in some other business setups.
Hospitality.
Chonge viazi. Oh, hospitality. There's hospitals and hospitality. So over the next few minutes, we are going to be discussing that. Our discussion is informed by a very recent petition which was successful. There was one person who sued Nairobi Hospital for detaining him when his insurance company failed to remit money for the period he was admitted in hospital. Now, the person was medically cleared on 27th March 2026. It was just the other day. After an open heart surgery. When the insurance failed to remit some of this money, he was detained in hospital until that money becomes fully paid. And you know, if you're detained in hospital, one thing, the bill will not be the same as they as they charged you initially. It increases. I don't know if you've ever been admitted in hospital. I have, and you eat like a king.
Depende hospitali gani.
Amba nimejiseti. Yeah, some of these hospitals, like Nairobi Hospital, gonjwa unakula na fork and knife.
Bado sasa hizo si.
Nalikewa menu.
Actually menu, you choose those foods.
On today we have this.
Hizo ni zenu, privilege. The privilege in the society.
Tunapewa uji. Okay. Even if it's that other hospital, of which all hospitals are good hospitals.
The privilege. The ujwasi.
That other.
Ni sawa. Discrimination, ni sawa. Go on.
Okay. You're in a hospital. The more you're detained, the more the fees will increase. Even if it's on the higher end of the lower end. Baseline is the fee will increase. So, yes, the person took it to court, tried to argue, not even tried, but successful in arguing that this detainment amounts to, number one, an infringement of my constitutionally guaranteed rights to human dignity. Number two, to that's Article 28, freedom and security of the person. Which article? And then movement of the person in Article 38. And so, how did the court infringe on that? You know, by detaining a person, you have appointed yourself police. Nimesema kwa leo mimi ndio Inspector General and I'm going to detain this person. So the court found that detaining a person is actually using unlawful means to enforce a contract that you had with a person. Now, the relationship between a hospital and a patient in this circumstance was held to be contractual in nature.
Yes.
Because our medical law tells us a patient and a hospital have another type of relationship. Fiduciary relationship based on duty of care. But this one specifically, for the commercial aspect of it, what I'm paying for my stay here, it's purely contractual in nature. And there are ways you can enforce a contract or recover debt that arises from a contract. Number one is through ADR, that is negotiation, mediation, and the likes. Number two is through asset-backed security, where at the time of onboarding the patient or before their release, you attach an asset so that if they fail to pay, you can easily go after that asset. So this goes to show that there is really more legal awareness that needs to be spread out to hospitals as to how you can recover that money. And then the last is through payment plans, and payment plans which have guarantors. So you find that mimi, a person from a humble background, naweza sema
Lakini watitoka king.
hii bill ya 5,000, I will pay 500 for 10 months.
Kila mwezi.
Kila mwezi.
Mdogo.
And then I say calliness. Nikikataa kushika simu, mtafute calliness. Huo atanipigia nitashika. Kona namba yangu ya pili. So that's a guarantor. And those are just some of the ways a hospital can recover debt. Na ikishindikana kabisa, chukua patient, Sasa sijui kama atakuwa amepona ama atapona. Kotini. Umpeleke kotini address hizo issue huko. Sasa vimesema kuna wengine bourgeoisie, sijui wengine jurisdiction yao itakuwa high court, wengine small districts.
Mazee ni mbaya.
You are 20 million bill.
Mazee, it is a direct attack on me.
Mimi sijataja majina ya watu. So
Na kwa ni project.
even small claims is a court. But is it a must everybody to go to high court?
That was the banana.
So that's basically what the hospital is supposed to do. And this conversation got me thinking. Ule makanga sema umefika kwa matatu.
Achana hiyo. Do you know, I was just thinking about the Nico guy. The Nico Mads. That this boy who was ali 2 points ya matatu, moving matatu because of the fare.
It has been something and it is so apparent.
So bad. Like it, I don't know, man. You see, I hope that boy just gets justice by being the Don that book, because that is so wrong. But I think maybe to give my thoughts on all that, I think it is great to now have the hospital honors, but not only hospitals. There's a case that we did, the Sonia versus Sandalwood, where you cannot just detain in a hotel because sijalipa din honor. So I think it is now having the hotel owners, the hospital owners, and other entities that are serving people to find ways to ensure that their clients and them, their contract is, I don't know, like the way of recovering debts is not violating someone's constitutional rights. There's something here I said, I leave it to her to say. I think we got to converse there, and she was saying, you cannot heal illegality by acting illegal way.
Yeah.
So it is an invitation for hospitals to now rethink how we going now to interact with our patients to make sure that madeni zetu zinalipwa, and you've given the ways and all that. But let's hear from you. How do you think about this?
Kwanza nataka kuambia wale watu hushikwa hapo Gemini. Chukwa Azul, please just call me, give me a call. We can work something out. You know, basically my takeaway is a person holding that patient is not even security. Like, it is not a surety that your debt will be paid after all. Actually, I go and work. But just, like, it's so ironic. Kama unakwanga unafikiria ka business imenama ni mitu unafikiria hivyo. Like, you know, it's not even a surety. It's not security. And I think like Jerry has put it out clearly, there are several constitutional rights that are being violated in the process. And you can even now file a petition to seek for damages. You get your damages and pay them. Shotgun. You go. You kill two.
So when you opposite sharp boys,
shotgun. You go, you sue, because you now sue for damages. Your rights have been violated.
And then you sue under certificate of urgency.
Yeah.
You see, you can say who say you go
27th March.
Alafu
but either way, you know, you just, it's called, sasa hiyo tusaita reverse nini, do see reverse psychology, but just be smart. Neighbors have given you a hack.
Like think smart.
I saw somewhere at Nairobi inataka akili hallelujah.
That's only
you are launching a full-on attack on holiness. Holiness unawaka unaenda the other hospital.
This is unfair, man. Neighbors, this is unfair. This is uncalled for. I've been cutting strays from the start. Oh my God.
So either way, I think it is nice to spread that particular awareness that you actually have a right not to be detained. Where no one's kuambia, I know my rights. I know sijui wenye itaenda kwa grao, but
one thing we have to caution our neighbors. This is not an invitation for you kwenda kwa hotel. Alafu usilipe, alafu no. I think it is common courtesy for you to do. This is someone's business. Nairobi Hospital is not a government facility. This is a private facility. But also another thing for the insurance funds, like why are you delaying this basket of funds and I've paid for my comprehensive insurance. Like this guy was actually to pay 1 million. Paying out of pocket 1 million is not easy. And this also makes me so mad to see Sha is not working.
wait.
So, guys, that will be it for the legal bulletin.
Ni kama nataka tu
Before tuende kwa the legal curiosity.
Okay. The thing is, I was trying to say, this tells us more about other business relations.
Yes.
Ulikuwa unafikiria uko na so ukienda kulipa matatu unapata ni 10.00. Sasa huyo makanga akikupitisha stage si anakudetain. Okay.
unlawfully.
But that will be for the lawyers to prove it. So wewe ukifanyikiwa hivyo nipigie simu. Then in the hotel, if you fail to pay in the hotel kwa hapo na mrembo wako, alafu M-Pesa haina pesa, ulikuwa unafikiria iko na pesa.
Ulikuwa unafikiria.
What should happen next is the hotel telling you to chonga viazi. See, they are detaining you. So I want to know what your thoughts on that are based on our discussion today. And you can type it in the comments. I would love to hear your 1 or 2 cents on it. And then maybe in a later episode, we will address it. So I'll hand it over to Collins.
This is another thing that I saw. I'm sure this one you saw. No, I'm not laughing. I'm sure you guys saw this. So you saw the guy who was snatching phones kwa traffic.
Where? See, they usually snatch everywhere.
Why are you laughing?
Production in a window. No.
I'm happy. This one will be bad. I'm happy. Sorry.
You guys, mnaishi wapi? You're giving me lemons, so guys.
Sia tuishi hiyo story.
God, just can't convey.
Collins, umetoka ushago juzi ukajua kwa niliwa leo. Ametu kweli.
So this guy alisnatch phones, ndio. Alafu bise wakamuona. So bise alikuwa amemshika. And then
John Kodam Collins.
I saw that video.
And why are you taking long to... Bro, mbona take long kushikanisha?
Hey. Go serious, we are talking patient rights. Wewe unafikiria pupu.
Oh my God. That was so funny. You can go on with the episode.
It's a Friday indeed. Kila mtu na safitani zake. Either way, so
Jerry, why are you looking at her that way?
Let's continue with the show. We'll go to miss.
I feel very So, before I continue, I'd love to give a shout out to our biggest fan since day one. Shout out to you, Teresa.
Oh, I thought you're gonna say your dad.
Sasa unaharibu hadi familia.
See,
Like his dad is the biggest fan.
no.
And so is mine.
Her dad. Umezoea kunimiss jana.
I'm so sorry. You have that. So that personal apology to you. So sorry. Niliweza kuita marafiki. Siwe ni mzee.
Nani? Ni Collins. Wow.
Okay, God.
Either way, and they're actually the one who gave me an idea for today's legal curiosity. People recently have been scrolling on TikTok and nimekuwa tu nikiona videos. I woke up to 60,000. I woke up to 20,000. Hata juzi kuna mtu nilisikia hapa katikati yetu akituambia 20,000 ilimwita Gemini. Sasema ni nani but
guess who?
Yeah, they should guess who. And you know, it raises a question. What do you do in that kind of situation? What are you supposed to do legally? So I was like, you know what? Actually, what are you supposed to do? Jibu nilimpea. It wasn't legal advice. It was just nilea, you find 200. As a Christian, what should you do?
Choice A.
Me, your son, last man give fail. So, I started digging and I found that kumbe ni watu huwa mnashikwa. Like, I found an article where two people one had been fined, one had been sent to prison. One over 16,000, the other one over 27,000. Since wewe umetumiwa pesa na sharp boy, akitaka kuireverse, you are also a sharper. You are a sharper boy. Have already withdrawn it and used it to shalipa rent, everything. So, basically, what are you supposed to do in that kind of situation? And if it is a crime, what crime will you be charged with? Because, you know, you have to be charged with an existing crime. So after digging, I found that is actually stealing. Because under the penal code, the definition of stealing is acquiring something, basically acquiring something fraudulently or in ways you cannot explain. Like, especially the section for money says you are neither a debtor nor are you a collector. So you're not collecting money for your service and you're also not collecting debts. So this is just, and should I call it unjust enrichment? Like, pesa tu imetoka out of nowhere. Then you know there's a difference between ownership and possession. You might be in possession of the money, but you're not the owner. So your actions between how you act when you receive that money and what you do after you receive that money is what is keeping you from jail. Like, it's what is keeping you from being a prisoner. So basically what you're supposed to do is if that person contacts you, you're supposed to assist in the reversal process. Kama imekatwa na fuliza, you know, you can reimburse. Umfulizie tena. And yeah, so basically you're just supposed to return that money. You're supposed to facilitate its return. Otherwise, you'll be charged with stealing and there are consequences for it. Also, you should not delete the messages that show you receive that particular money, because sasa that adds you other criminal charges of trying to erase evidence under the Cybercrime Act. So people should be very careful with how they deal with that particular money. So yeah, I don't know, what are your thoughts and what will have been your line of actions prior to this episode? What will you have done?
Mimi nimeoshwa last year. But ilipoa pesa kidogo, ilipoa 2K. And then the guy sent me 500 and said, "You are lucky."
Hi. And the 2K si kuoshwa, my friend.
Kuninjono ushapwani unakuwa mgonjwa. Umeenda kununua simu kwa an online store. Kaujaipata hiyo. Na sisi wenye tulianza na forex. We have a story to tell.
Sharp girl indeed.
Sharp girl.
Sharp girl indeed. But me niko interested.
Let's hear what Jerry has to say.
I'm interested.
By the way, hizo pesa mmekuwa mkireceive ni zangu mazee. So anybody mshampata, please return it to me or I will report to the nearest police station. Hiyo watakaa. So actually, if you really look at it, that can be tamba stealing.
Na kuokota by the way. Siku hizi mnaokota ngado?
Hata kuokota. Do nani anaokota do siku hizi? Tumekaa bila kuokota.
Ameliko tu kitoi.
Guys, along right on Dingawe, can you drop some money for me, please?
And also it can be, in case that money was stolen, you can be an accessory after the fact. Unasaidia mwizi kusafisha pesa. If you receive that money, I'm sure kila mtu alifanya CRE, primary ama ARE.
Yeah.
Una withdraw, unapelekea polisi, unamwambia I found this money. Or uskule tu hiyo pesa, save it for that day, which ama ukitumia ukijua uko na straight 80K ama 60K sahi. So yes, but that is very interesting. I had some of us here have received that money.
Yeah.
I'm wondering,
Also wondering.
what are they doing?
Man.
But some of this money, unaweza pata mi even nimetoa hii episode. Msee abambike na mimi anitumie 20K.
Alafu akwami.
Asiniambie.
Uzo kayo.
So
Some rata itakuriport alitugia.
Ama tu unaona potential anione mahali.
bas.
I'm just manifesting.
So but if you receive money unknowingly, treat it with caution. Uiweke tu mahali tu in case the person comes to reclaim it. Wasiku reclaim hadi ikifika 10 years ikiisha. Lakini sijasema ukule, but I mean we must upgrade our living standards. So that will be my contribution to that.
Me that's not upset. I'm a faithful person. I'll embrace the neighbors to embrace the self. Yeah. Anyway, I think today's episode was just short and sweet. To our viewers, you have realized YouTube bots are content, but you have not subscribed. That's the only way to show us love. Subscribe, comment. Pale tunaingia inbox yangu. Kuna comment section on YouTube. Go there and tell us your thoughts. We really appreciate all those who are supporters and give us feedback. Personally, shout out to my dad. He's our biggest fan.
Edit kona biggest fan ngapi bana?
That watch content share ina community.
Also shout out to my dad and the rest of my family. What do you shout outside?
Shout out to your mom, Johnny Vamasco.
In fact, if you check our comments, my aunt is always there. I'm just here for my nephew. I'm just here for my nephew. So my family members are actually very supportive. My dad, mom, brothers, even uncles and aunts and grandmothers.
No, you're mwingine
Huku ushagua tu anajua mimi TV presenter. Ni podcast, my guys.
Leo mmekuwa na
Unajua umeenda kuambia
Ngani.
ule the
Una-
mwenye ako almost kukuwa family member.
Buda, hata yani ni wengi mpaka ujui.
Unajua ni. You know yourself, even though
Hey,
Ma politician mazee. Anyway, that's it for
be there, but I'm single. Oh, yes. You atakat.
yeah, it's okay. Really, I'm probably in love, but the day I'm loved. Thank to God. I also wish the same for you. This is self-love. Yeah, and episode leo mmekuwa tuna ubaya lakini ni sawa. Anyway, that's the end of it. We'll see you on the other side, neighbors. Peace. Thank you.
This is Law in the Neighborhood podcast. Brought to you by CH Studios, creating content that connects.